Good evening, everyone. My name is Sampriti Pal, and I am the moderator of Cafe Ekla. So, in today's session of Doc Talks, we are going to speak on the topic mental health issues during adolescence with their remedies. So, when it comes to adolescence, teenagers come up with few questions like, I would rather talk to my friends. It costs too much. I don't have time. What good is talking going to do? I would rather feel weird talking about these stuffs to a stranger. Yes, many of the youngsters do not go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist because either they don't have the money to afford or they are not comfortable to speak to an expert. So, in order to break this taboo, Cafe Ekla has come up with an initiative where the youngsters can ask questions without even having to reveal their identities, and they can also get their queries solved without even having to spend a penny or even have to move out of their rooms. So, in today's session of Doc Talks, we have with us Shyamalima Datta. She is a psychologist, a friend, and a mentor. Yes, you heard me right. She is a friend. And let's see how can she help us with our problems. Hello.
Hello everyone. Hi. Hello everyone. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to join here and thanks to Cafe Akla and Nibedita specifically, Joydeep and you specifically the moderator who is there with me, and I hope it's going to be a great session today. So
Yes.
yeah, you can start and all the questions I'll try my best to answer the queries. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's really
So,
nice to
Shyamalima,
connect.
Shyamalima, so I've already introduced you to the audiences. So, would you like to
Right.
add something more?
Yeah, so basically, as she has already introduced me, I am a psychologist and I've been practicing since now it's been more than 8 years that I'm practicing. And I've chosen this topic specifically related to adolescents because I have worked with adolescents and I feel I can personally connect to adolescents in a very positive way.
Yeah.
So, and I can understand the issues that are being faced by them, right? So there are other things also, issues also, maybe in later sessions we can do that, but today we will stick to the adolescent issues that we have already discussed, right? And
Yeah.
yeah, currently I am based in Kolkata. I am basically working with Tata Consultancy Services as a corporate psychologist, and also I give counseling on a personal if someone needs it and all, but my basic focus is on TCS. But earlier I was definitely working with a lot of adolescents, so I have a very close connection to them. So that's why I took this topic, so that I can connect to the viewers and help them out, or for any kind of query. So okay, I think that's a good intro, right? So let's just
Yes.
start then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So, Shamalima, my first question is, what
right.
is the most common psychological problems in adolescence?
Yeah, so see, adolescence is as you know, it is a starting phase of adolescence is 12, 13, right? It starts.
Yeah.
And these days it's even earlier than that sometimes because, as you know, kids are maturing very fast, right? Because of the
Mm-hmm.
exposure. We didn't have that much of exposure at that point of time. Now we have that exposure. So, yeah, so the major things, that issues that they might face is first is, depression or, mood disorders, right? So
Mm-hmm.
mood disorder basically is the depression, because I would focus on that because childhood depression or teenage depression specifically has become a very important topic to be with, right? To discuss, because as it is, hormonal changes are happening in the body, right? For the girls and the boys also, right? And apart from that, they are moving away from their parents. They teens feel that their parents are not able to understand them, right? And so that's why they feel very depressed, right? And they are not able to connect to anyone. And another thing I would point out is that they look at life through rose tinted glasses, like everything is so flowery for them, right? So if the parents are saying something to them or questioning them, they feel really irritated and they feel nobody is understanding them. So at this point of time, a professional comes into play, right? A psychologist or someone who might understand a person, because a psychologist is trained in these fields, right, to connect to the
Yes.
child. So
Hmm.
depression is one thing, and it might be caused due to a lot of reasons, because of parents not understanding, lack of adjustment in school, right, and lots of
Hmm.
other things come into play, right. But these are the major ones. Like this low self-esteem issue is another, and another major. This is the first one. The next one is the anxiety issue, right. So anxiety could be generalized anxiety, right. Generalized
Yes.
anxiety is what, when the children feel that
Hmm.
something amiss is going to happen all the time, they are in fear, right. So that is known as GAD. And apart from that, social anxiety, because these days it is so important to connect to people around you, and people expect you to be very positive with people, with friends, right, to connect to
Hmm.
teachers, and you need to speak out in public, right. So a lot of students or a lot of adolescents, I'm sorry, what they do is they feel very scared to go out in public, right. So this is basically not just general fear which we all face, right, when we go somewhere, but this is
Yeah.
something more than fear, right. This is social anxiety, in which they have severe fear of of people around, being embarrassed. They feel
Yeah.
embarrassed, right. And they feel that I might be judged, I might be humiliated by everyone around. So that happens. So basically, this is the major. These are the problems. And yeah, eating disorders are another one that is coming, but it's basically very common with girls, right. And
Hmm.
you being a youngster, you've also passed through that phase, right.
Yeah.
So not everyone faces it, definitely, but a lot of people who are obsessed with their bodies, right, about the perfection, how it looks, and they compare themselves to who the media ideas of models, right. They want to be
Yeah.
thin, and earlier this was not the case in India, but in India also now the exposure has gone a bit very high. So that's why
Hmm.
we are going towards it. So eating disorders, problems with eating disorders are coming up very in life. So anorexia is one and bulimia is one. So anorexia, what people do is they don't basically girls, it's related to girls, but it can happen to any gender, but it's happening with girls mostly. So what they happen is they eat less and they want to maintain that figure, and general body image issues come, right, because they feel that that is something can be known as body dysmorphia, right. They feel that their body is distorted. Okay, the boys might
Hmm.
feel that they are getting those changes in their body, right. They're getting what do you say, beard or a lot of hair on their body, right. So they might feel
Hmm.
very conscious about it, and they might develop a lot of issues. And now if depression goes too much, like if the sad feelings and all come too much, and it is like coming in terms of their it becoming a hurdle for their academics, for their social life, then definitely it is
Hmm.
a problem, right. And it can lead to a lot of different kinds of suicidal thoughts, as we've seen a lot of
Yes.
teen suicides happening these days, right. And another thing is, there are lots of issues. I'm just, explaining the major ones because there's so
Yeah.
many.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and another thing is that attraction towards the opposite sex, right? The relationships that they develop, they don't know
Hmm.
how to approach the others the sex, and the sex education, which is quite lacking in India. We don't know about a lot of, they don't get the right information. So
Hmm.
that also leads to a lot of confusion in the minds. They don't know who to go to, and that can develop a lot of negativity in their own minds, and a lot of distancing from parents or what's happening. That's the major things. So
Yes. So my
I
next.
feel
Yeah.
yeah, please
Yeah.
tell me.
Yeah. So my next question was regarding this only relationship between a parent and a child. So
Right, right.
when we are in teenage, so basically we fear our parents. What will they think, or will we judge, or how will we approach them? How can we communicate effectively to deal with our problems with parents?
How can we communicate with
Parents,
you mean to say the communication between the child and the parent, right?
parents, yeah.
Yeah,
So
see,
how can we
this
do
should
that?
develop since the beginning. First thing is that the parent and the child should have a very cordial relationship in which the parent is not always judgmental, because what we see in most of the parent child relationship is that parents tend to get judgmental, that okay, you went into a relationship or you had this, so this is very wrong. So what they do is they get into morality, right? Morality between what's right, what's wrong, instead of actually explaining them that okay, why this is not the right thing to do, if they feel that it is not the right thing to do, right? Because that point of time a child does not know what is happening with his or her body, why is he or she attracted to the opposite sex, right? So a very good rapport is important to develop between the child and the parent. So best thing is that, spend every day for 1 hour or 2 hours, asking them about the school, specifically about their friends, who their friends are they feeling awkward, did they say something to them, right? And so that, the child becomes very, very free with the parent, and the parents are also very open with them. So then the first thing that should come, if they face any problem, it should be like, I can tell it to my mother or my father, right? Instead of going to their own age group, because it's quite risky, because the same age group person is also not that much experienced, right? And if you go to seniors also, they might not as well give you the best advice, right? So going to a parent, they will help them, right? So in this case, I feel that a non-judgmental relationship between the child and the parent, and a good, positive, very cordial relationship should exist. Although it becomes difficult sometimes because of the behavioral issues of the child might feel irritated, but you should persist. Like if you also get irritated, the parent gets irritated, and he or she starts scolding the child. So definitely it will become very bad for the, it will have adverse effects on the child later on. He or she won't share in the end, and that's what we see, right? When something bad mishappens, the parents don't know what was happening in the life of the child, right? So that should be really avoided. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we are getting a question from the audience. A brave fool is asking this question: how important it is to visit a nutritionist along with a psychiatrist?
Yes, definitely. It's very important, because when we are being an adolescent, we are at the growing phase, right? What is the name? Who asked the question? Huh?
A brave fool.
Okay. So hi, I'll answer your query. So so basically nutrition is equally important in adolescence, because we are growing up, right? So we are growing up, we need a lot of nutrition already. And what adolescents do, they don't want to eat a lot of things. They avoid that, okay, and they want to get into junk and everything. First thing one can do is that you can educate them, like we do psycho-education of mental, emotional issues and all. So we can educate them about the importance of nutrition, right? Like the best thing is that the parents can do that. Like, that is the best they can do, because they would listen. And it's not that you should get angry and say you eat this and eat that, not like this. Tell them why it is important, so that and because these days teenagers are very like earlier also they were clever, these days they want to know everything, they want the how of everything, then only they'll accept it, right? So you need to tell them the nutrition part, why it is important, like why is protein so important, why are fruits and green leafy vegetables, which I think even we never used to like during our teens, but our parents used to tell us that it's important, right? So but we used to eat it. So it's very important. So nutrition plays an important role in the development of our brain also, and everything, and our hormonal changes are taking place. We need a lot of nutrients that time also. Girls need it, boys need it, both the genders. So it's very important. So it's a very good question, this, because we generally miss this part, the nutrition and everything. So it's a very good question asked. Thanks for the question.
Okay. So my next question is, what role can a teacher or a school play in the development of a kid, or in the identity formation of a teenager? So
actually, I didn't get. Can you just repeat? Actually, your voice was breaking. I'm so sorry.
Okay, sorry. So what role can a teacher or a school play in the social development of a kid, or in the identity formation of a kid?
Yes. So basically, see, a child is mostly spending their time in school only. Most of the time, we call it a second home, right? So what happens is that teachers play a very important role, and of course the exposure they give to the child, right? It is very
Hmm.
important. So it
Hmm.
is not just academic that you're just teaching and they're mugging up, and just the exam part that is important. If they are given exposure to extracurricular activities like for example
Hmm.
sports or maybe singing, whatever the child likes, the adolescent like, because at adolescence you develop a lot of exploration things, the
Yeah.
curiosity, what to do, what not to do, right?
Hmm.
And the teachers should be very patient with the adolescent, because what happens is sometimes there's so many students in school. Teachers tend to become very impatient that why is he or she doing this, why is the behavioral issue happening. So instead of just scolding the child and shooing he or her away, it is very important to talk to the child, right? And why it is important, why, what is the home environment like. Sometimes what happens is the home is very dysfunctional, there's a rift between parents, so when
Hmm.
they come to school they develop behavioral problems, right? This is just an
Yeah.
example, but there are lots of things that happen. So, and if they're exposed to more of social events like playing, basically games can be a very important part in the growth of the child, right? Emotional growth,
Hmm.
physical
Hmm.
growth, because it actually helps in in the emotional development as well, because they are basically learning to team up, right? Working as a
Yeah.
team with the other members, right? And how they are able to assert themselves. So in this way, when you see that a child who is not exposed that much to extracurricular or other things, in school, other activities, and you compare it to another child who is just in the study mode and not doing anything else, there's a lot of personality difference, lot of, they don't life skills. I think we all have heard about life skills, which has become very important these days, problem solving, and talking your emotions, how you can control your emotions, because these, in adolescence what happens, we are unable to control our emotions, because our emotions are like, it's roller coaster, right? Sometimes we are sad, sometimes we are too happy, right? So how
Yeah.
to control that, all these things. And definitely nowadays schools are keeping counselors, right? And mental health professionals, for this reason only, because if a mental health professional and all of us collaborate, it would be very good,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah, and I
that
think
way.
also the education policy is also changing, which is very good. I think, like a
Right,
student uh, gain interest in what they like actually. So I think that is also a very
right,
good
right.
initiative taken by the
They
education.
have changed the educational policy, or they have made amends, and that's a very positive
Yeah,
step towards change. Yeah, so that is a
exactly.
very good thing. Right, right,
Yeah.
right. That is true.
Yeah,
So,
during this lockdown, there is a sense of dysfunctionality. Like,
right, right.
yeah, like students are not getting the energy in their studies, or they lack that aim to do what they wish to do. So that is
Right,
leading to a lot of anxiety, then a lack of
right.
confidence. So what is your take on it?
So basically, see, during the lockdown, they're all in a very monotonous position, right? Because they don't have anything to do, right? So
Hmm.
one thing that parents can ensure is that they can make a routine for the child, right? Like in the morning when they are studying, okay, this much hour they will study, or maybe they can,
Yeah.
indulge in indoor games, because indoor games there's lots of things like skipping they can do, right? Which can
Hmm.
happen indoors, so they can give them time to. And yeah, definitely technology has advanced so much, they can definitely ask them to give them some time to socialize with their own friends also, talk to them over
Yes.
video call or over phone. So what will happen
Hmm.
is that this flow would be there, it's not. And otherwise if they're at home just studying, or just sitting idle, then of course all
Hmm.
kind of bad thoughts will come. And that's why you're saying that it is good, it can create a lot of negativity, and of course lead to depression
Yeah.
and lots of anxiety. I think a lot of adolescents are facing that. And for adolescents it is very important, because they're already going through a very tough phase, right? Because their hormones, their hormonal changes, there are also behavioral changes that will happen definitely. And added to this the lockdown, right? So it is a double thing on them, double pressure. So
Yeah.
and the parents need to be, because since now they're staying with the parents or maybe in a joint family, so the elders
Hmm.
need to be very sensitive to their needs, right? Why they are, if they're behaving in some way, if you're seeing that they're sleeping too much or they're sleeping too less, they're eating too much or eating too less, because eating too much is also a very not a very good thing, and eating too less is also, if they're not balanced, if they're not talking to someone, or if there are changes in the personality, then they need to just talk to them, or approach them, and little while we'll ask that what happened, like, so that they open it, because if you approach them abruptly that why are you behaving this way, maybe they might not open up, right? So,
Yeah.
and if they feel that there is some problem, there is some issue that is going on, and if it's beyond the control of the parent, so then they can definitely seek help of a mental health professional or a psychologist, or maybe they can even initially start with friends and then go to a psychologist, right?
Yeah.
Talking to someone they know, so that they discuss the right course of action. So lockdown is definitely a very tough situation for all, even for adults, I guess. But for
Yeah.
adolescents, it is the adolescents
Yeah.
and children are facing the most issue, right? Exactly. So
So,
yeah,
so the teenagers, as you know, they go through a series of emotional and physical changes. So that sometimes
हाँ,
leads to a baffling changing of behaviors. Like sometimes they become too introvert, or they score good, or they score bad marks, or that leads to anxiety. There is also suicide cases going on. There are lots of.
हम्म.
So, how do you think we can identify these changes in a teenager?
As in, like, can you just repeat this? I mean, I didn't get the entire question. Yeah.
Yes, like a teenager goes through a lot of emotional and psychological changes,
Right.
physical changes, psychological changes. So, how
Right.
can we identify these changes in a teenager?
Yeah, so see, that's what I discussed a while back. See, a lot of behavioral changes will come, right? They will
Hmm.
maybe get very irritable. They will not talk to the as usual. They not be the usual. They might not be the usual self, right? They might talk in a very different way, or maybe if they were personality really matters, right? So if a person, if a child or adolescent is an extrovert, has been an extrovert,
Hmm.
and all of a sudden he or she has become an introvert, or not talking to people, then also
Yeah.
it does ring a bell, right? So
Hmm.
then definitely a person might, the parent might as well ask that what's wrong, or maybe they were socializing a lot, they had lots of friends, and now they
Yes.
are not talking to anyone. Or but and
Hmm.
another important aspect is that I would like to drop on is the personality of an introvert, because introverts are generally not focused on, right? What happens is that we are always focusing on the extroverted side of our personality. So those who are introverts, sometimes we feel that okay, he or she doesn't speak as it is, so it's fine. I
Yeah.
mean, it's his or her nature, but it is not always like that, right? So it's
Yeah.
very important to keep on checking on an introvert that whether he or she is actually faring well, is something wrong, or even if they say that it is right, still you should dig in, like the parents should dig in and see that okay, if because they are more sensitive than an extrovert, because an extrovert can always express it very easily, right, to
Hmm.
their friends. I'm feeling depressed, I'm not feeling good. But an introvert, it takes a lot of time to open up, and they don't open up to everyone, right? So they have a very
Yeah.
limited friend circle. Yeah. So
Exactly.
so it is very important to actually differentiate between personalities also here, because
Hmm.
behavioral changes definitely focus on, and the personality. So these two things, if the parents are able to identify, then
Hmm.
definitely they will do it. So it is very essential, these two
Okay.
points. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
So my next question is about bullying. So as you know, this
Okay.
is a really very serious problem. Like
Yeah, right.
a girl is bullied for her pimples, for being too skinny or being too fat, and even a boy also gets judged. So
Right,
that
exactly.
leads to a lot of self-doubt and a
Right,
lifetime of hurt. You know, that
right,
person can
exactly.
lose their self-confidence. So how can you improve their self-confidence?
See, first thing is that these parents can do a lot of thing in that. First, they can tell they can inform the child about bullying, that, bullying behaviors
Exactly.
exist. Because sometimes the child does not know that he or she is
Hmm.
being bullied. right? They feel that it is
Yeah.
normal to to get bullied or take if somebody is saying dictating me something, I have to
Yeah.
listen. Like, this is a personality
Uh,
trait. So first thing is that they need to tell them that if somebody is bullying you, you don't need to get bogged down. So, and another
yeah.
thing is that they should tell them the quality of a bully. So quality of a bully is like they love bullying others, right? So their self-esteem increases when the other person is bullied. So if you
Hmm.
react, then definitely the bully will bully you more, right? So
Yeah.
if
You go on
they
and
have
on.
been taught to be indifferent, that if you're indifferent, then you are like, okay, just say that, okay, you are fat. So like, yeah, I come from a very, wealthy family where I eat a lot. So,
Yeah.
it's like, make it neutralize the thing. So, but what
Hmm.
happens is the teens don't know about it. So, that bullying behavior actually exists. But these days, this is coming up because because of social media exposure, people know, parents also know, kids also know, but still it
Yeah.
needs to be dealt with. And if the parents are seeing that a lot of because the child is very sensitive, so the child might not be able to deal with the situation alone. So that
Yeah.
time people need to come together, right? And the bullying behavior should go. So that is what. So that is in that sense, parents definitely, I told you, they can help. Teachers can
Hmm.
help. Teachers, they can take the help of the teacher. If the teacher is feeling that, okay, this person is getting bullied, they can tell it to the parents, so that the parents explain the child that, okay, why is it that you're bullying, or what is it that's happening, and then they can
Hmm.
deal with the situation together. And if there is a mental health professional or a psychologist there at school, then definitely they can take the help of the psychologist. But that's the best thing one can do. But if there is no one available, then these
Yeah.
things can be done. So, and special classes can be held, like where the education can be given on bullying, then depression and everything, so that children know that these things also exist, because a lot of kids don't know, adolescents also don't know that such things also are happening. Because mental health, as it is, as I said, that it's not given that much of importance even today. Earlier they were given, but now it has become very less, right? So
Okay.
yeah, that way, yeah,
So, Shubhankar Ghoshal is telling us that
right.
I think the government should add a mental health. Uh, sorry. Yeah, I think the government should add a mental health curriculum in schools and colleges. So, yeah, I think that is really important. Like, we don't have in
Right.
our colleges till now. So, yeah, I think that is important. What is your take on it?
Yeah. You mean to say he said that there should be some mental
Extracurricular
health
activity.
curriculum should be added. Yeah, definitely
Yeah.
he has a point there. Definitely Shubhankar, if he's alive, definitely it is very important, because people can actually then understand what is there. Because as I said right now, that mental health issues are not taken into consideration in most of the schools, and even
Hmm.
as you can see, even adults don't take it very seriously sometimes, right? They ignore
Hmm.
the red signals, that okay, if there is some issue, they ignore it initially totally. So
Hmm.
it is very important. If this is introduced, then a lot of things will change. Kids will be able to speak out, and they will
Yeah.
be able to tell what's wrong. And these, if there is any kind of thoughts, negative thoughts that are coming to their mind, or anything they're dealing with, they will not be able to deal with it alone, and their
Hmm.
emotions won't be bottled up. So that
Yeah.
way it will be very, very good and very important. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and I think that few of the private schools and colleges are introducing this kind of sessions, but
yes, yes.
government-oriented schools and colleges are still lacking in that part, I think.
Yes, right. Private schools are introducing, and that's a very good thing that they're doing,
Yeah.
because this is very important. And in government schools, it should be introduced, because what I've seen in government schools is that they lack that structure even now, right? Even if they're, employing
Yeah.
counselors and psychologists, they still don't know what's happening exactly. The kids don't know. The teachers also don't know sometimes that there is some issue. So these things have to be, the awareness is
Yeah.
lacking. So government, I feel, should not just introduce the bill and just forget about it. Like, they should at least see whether it's actually being implemented. Because in private
Yeah.
schools they are definitely doing it. A lot of schools have it. Like in Calcutta also you've seen, and my hometown is Dehradun. So in Dehradun also I have seen people, at least twice a week, or at least twice or thrice in a week they are coming. Counselors come, talk to the kids, and they keep
Yeah.
it confidential because it's very important, right? Confidentiality, because
Okay.
children and adolescents or anyone, we all are scared that we don't want to reveal our true feelings to everyone, right? Because we don't want to show our weakness to everyone, right? So that
Okay.
way, yeah. Hmm.
So we have another question from a brave fool. How important
Okay.
is it to stay hydrated?
Yes, definitely it is, because these days what we don't generally focus on hydration, right? And it is very important to stay hydrated, because of course it is our emotional health is also, it stays good. Our physical health, because
Hmm.
see, our physical health is also very important. It is related to our emotional health. So
Yeah.
if we are not taking, earlier the nutrition part was what we talked, hydration. If these things are taken care of, then definitely our emotional health will automatically be good, and we will be well
Hmm.
balanced. But what we do is that we generally ignore it, because these are very small things. Like he said, his name is Abra
A
Fool,
brave
right?
fool. Yeah.
A brave fool. Yeah. So if it is important, it is definitely very important to stay hydrated. And he has actually put a very good point here, because, as I said, physical health is very important. So
Yeah.
nutrition and physical health and everything. And once it is there, then our brain releases neurotransmitters, right? So serotonin and like these are what these are related to our emotional brain, emotional setup, and how we feel, right? So these really help in keeping our in the brain development as well. And these are very small things to notice, but very important, right? We generally feel that, oh, why to drink so much of water, why to stay hydrated. So
Yeah.
these things are ignored, but very important, right? Exactly. Hmm.
Okay. So,
Any other
Shamali,
questions? Right.
no, till now we don't have any. So, Shamali, my next question is that as you're a corporate psychologist working in
Hmm.
CPS, so what kind of people do you deal in that office?
As a corporate psychologist, what kind of
Yeah. Yeah. What kind
what?
of psychological problems do you deal over there?
Okay, yeah. So basically, in a corporate, as you say, as you can see, you've experienced. I don't know whether you've experienced, but you've seen, like, for people who in corporates are, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you must have interacted with people in corporates. I don't know whether you have,
Yeah.
but they do face workplace issues a lot. Workplace
Hmm.
conflict. These days,
Hmm.
problem is that they don't have that avenue to express themselves, right? So there's a lot of rift in the team sometimes, and they're
Yeah.
not able to express themselves to the manager. So they feel, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of stress as it is. You have to finish your work within a deadline, right? So
Yeah.
those things create a lot of stress, and most issues that I personally deal with is anxiety. They face a lot of anxiety, generalized anxiety. There are a lot of high level of stresses there, and
Yeah.
yeah, they're not able to manage their family and work, right? Work balance and family balance is lacking.
Hmm.
And here there are a lot of people who are not able to express themselves. Again, here communication is very important. There's a lot of communication gap. For example, if you are not able to express yourself very well to your manager or your teammates, right? So they
Hmm.
might take you in a very wrong way, right? Because these days it is very important to be communicating well. I think not only these days, I think it's in every part of life you need it, right? So that is
Yeah.
what I deal with is these anxiety, workplace stress, relationships. Sometimes uh, they're in the same couples are in the same office, right? And they
Okay.
have the same team members, same colleagues, and there's problems. There a problem might occur. Ego clashes, ego issues.
Hmm.
These might come in. So these are the
Yeah.
major issues that come. And yeah, a lot of times if somebody is like really depressed, or they might as
Hmm.
well as suicidal thoughts and negative thoughts, that becomes that time you need to be more vigilant. And then if it is very severe, then they're definitely referred to a psychiatrist, because medication and counseling both are required. But if it is like a stressor that is stressing them, then we try to analyze and explore what
Yeah.
is it that is affecting them, and then I try to deal with the situation accordingly. So if the family has to get involved in it, or if the but yes, it is kept confidential. I don't, as I said, that I don't allow anyone to ask me that what's wrong. But sometimes people tend to say why this person came to you, although it is a very confidential place where the counseling is done. There is no such scope that people will generally barge in and ask. And definitely sometimes physical ailments also become so much that they get frustrated with their physical ailments, right? Sometimes blood pressure is high, so sometimes it is not because of physical problem, maybe because of other anger issues, maybe they have anything related to that. So we deal with that. And life skills, which is very important. So life skills, I think, is required for adolescents also, for adults also, for everyone. So in corporates also it is very much needed. So these are the basic topics that I get in corporates. So
Yeah,
so it
and
is
recently we and Shamalima, recently we are also seeing that lot of the corporate sectors are people who are working in the corporate sectors are also losing their jobs. So, what do you have to say about that?
Yes, right. So we even counsel them. I mean, those who have lost their jobs, and their the you have I don't know whether you've heard about this. There's a website called Your Dost. So I'm with them,
Okay.
working with them also. So they also
Yeah.
generally deal with corporates and those who are losing their jobs. So we
Yeah.
generally reach out to the employees, those who have lost their jobs, and we see that they
Okay.
have gotten a lot of stressors, lot of stress in them, right? Because
Hmm.
they have to take care of their children. If they
Yeah.
have a family,
Hmm.
they have to take care of their
Exactly.
their wife. If it's a guy, if a girl, then husband, right? And then other things also. They're in loans, they have EMIs. So how to deal with them? All of a sudden, it's there. So basically, what we try to do is that, like I personally also try to do is that deal with the negative thought. Try to identify what is the negative thought that is there in the person, what kind of thought process he or she has. So if it is a
Yeah.
negative, too much of a negative thought, and lots of depressive thoughts are coming, then we take sessions, subsequent sessions, so that the person is actually
Okay.
stable, emotionally stable. We try to keep them stable
Yeah.
so that in the long run they're able to find another job. Because see, if they get their breakdown happens, then definitely nothing will work, right? They cannot find a job, they cannot chalk out a plan, and then they're able to vent also, because sometimes they're not able to vent to others, right? Like they can't tell it to their wives or to their children, because they will feel bad, or they might feel scared, so they tell it
Yeah.
to me. So they feel relaxed, so that rapport is good. So that
Yeah.
ways we are helping that much. At least on my personal level, I'm trying to help the employees very like to pretty much what I can do from my level by supporting them emotionally, because that's what we
Yeah.
can do right now. Because see, some scenarios cannot change, right?
Yeah.
If somebody has lost his job, you cannot get it like in the next day. So that is, and a lot of people have that positive state of mind also should be there, right? So a lot of people don't have that, that okay, we will bounce back, that perseverance. So we try to focus
Yes.
on that also. Yeah, so we try to teach them that those skills of perseverance, how to move on, these things. Yeah, right.
So it was a great session, Shamalima, and your father is also watching this live.
Oh my
So
God. Hello, Paul Papa. I hope he's liking it, because he was
yeah,
very excited since morning. That's
yeah.
why.
So
And
it's
Monica has also commented. Okay, this is Monica. She's also a psychologist and a very good friend of
okay.
mine. So she's like, she commented that my father is also watching. Good.
Yeah,
Great, Monica. Thanks for the boost. Actually, when people come and, join, it really feels
yeah,
good.
yeah.
That is right.
So
Yeah.
thank you, Shamalima, for
So
speaking
it
on
was
such a
really
important
great
topic.
talking for joining the session, and thanks
Yeah,
once again to Cafe Akla. And it's a very great initiative. I hope we will have more of future sessions like that. And Ritika Beth
yeah,
has also given a thumbs up. Hi Ritika. Yeah. And to all of you, thanks for all of the people who came live and were still not live, were live. Thanks
yeah.
for coming and joining. Thanks a lot. Take care. Okay. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Take. Yeah, I'll disconnect.
So thank you to all the audiences who are watching this live. I hope you like this session of Doc Talks. So please support our initiative by liking our pages, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also on YouTube. So we will be back soon with another session of Doc Talk. Till then, be happy, be safe. Bye.